Hello, Akko here again. Welcome to episode 31 of my Feed the Beast Ultimate Beginner's Guide. I'm starting in the end here. As you can see, my Vile Sword is pretty well damaged. It's down at about 10%. And the Soul Shard is up to 800 kills, so I've killed quite a few endermen. So 160 odd endermen I've killed. And as you can see, I've got quite a few ender pearls, quite a few shards of minium. But I'm getting to the point where I need to repair my sword, so I thought I'd start recording now. Show you how I'm going to do that. So, kill a couple more of these while I'm here. Let's get up to 850. As you can see, these die pretty quick, as I showed you yesterday. 820, 826, 31, 36, 41, 46, and oops, 51. Okay, that'll do. 851. I'll come back and finish it off in a bit. What I want to do now is I want to show you how you repair the sword. So, a couple of ways of doing this. First of all, because this is a Vile sword, it needs corrupt shards, corrupt ingots. So, I made some more corrupt essence, which if you remember is soul sand and, well, it's soul sand put through a furnace combined with glowstone, and then put some iron ingots in there. I've made loads of these corrupted fragments. I don't think I need any more than that. Let's have a look. Now let's spread them out. It says 7 corrupted ingots. That's fine. Now, a couple of ways of repairing this. One would be to make a sword, and if I put that in there, made another Vile sword, put the Vile sword in there, that would repair. That'd take some materials. Let's just do that anyway. Something else I want to show you is I've made a load more canvas bags. I'll show you why in a second. But there we go. There's a stick. I'm going to name them in a second as well using the anvil. So let's just make a Vile sword. There we go. So I'll combine that in there. With that, you can see it costs 32 levels to get that back to full strength again. So that's how you repair. That's one way of repairing a sword if you've got an anvil. 32 levels. And the other way is with our uncrafting table. So let's show you that way as well. So let's do it this way. So that's asking for 2 corrupted ingots. And that's asking for 42 levels to repair it. So it's actually cheaper using the anvil. It costs a stick extra, but a stick's fine. So I'm going to use the anvil. So sometimes this used to seem cheaper, but I don't know if it's changed, because when I was last using both an anvil and an uncrafting table, because my last world I never managed to get an uncrafting table, my Let's Play world. But before that, it seemed a bit cheaper, so they maybe changed that and made it a bit more expensive. So we'll use the anvil. So you've got options there. So there we go, 32 levels. Gets that back to full strength again. Now that goes up each time you do it a little bit. Apparently if you change the name of it, it stops it going up. I'm not sure if that's just a rumour or actual truth. Another thing we can do with the anvil is, I think some of these are empty, but we'll see what's in it. That one's got like tools and stuff. So what you could do is, for a few levels, that's going to cost 5, I've only got 4 levels left, as you can see. Could change the name of that to tools, and instead of saying canvas bag, it'll be tools. You can change the colour of them with dyes, as you can see, and I'll get a few more levels on me. So the red one's empty. What we've got in here? Purple one's empty. The green one's got my Mistcraft stuff in it, I think. Yeah, green one's got linking books and stuff. So you can work out what you need in each bag. I generally have one for Farmcraft stuff, one for Mistcraft stuff, one for tools. I used to have one for dyes, but I found that since using applied logistics, it's better to have dyes on you, actually. How's this doing? We've got a sharpness 4 in there since last time, I think. Something else. Someone mentioned in a comment that I should add something to my power tool. I don't think you can anymore, but we'll just check. No, you can't, look. So it used to be that it was a bug that you could add enchantment books onto power armor or power tool. So same with the armor. You can't add it to the armor either. I think you can add it to some stuff, Obviously, you wouldn't be able to sharpness anyway, because that's for a weapon. But I think you can add it's like you can add protection to a IC2 jetpack or a gravity suit advanced jetpack or some stuff like that. You can add enchants to some stuff, but not all. But I'm pretty sure you can't add any enchant to any power armor or power tool. So that's all right though, because it's really strong as it is. I think adding extra stuff would make it a little bit even possibly more overpowered than it already might be. I've got a nice supply of ender pearls from this, but of course we need more. But I'll put them in there for now. And minium shards, they can go in there as well. They can go in there. Now the quarry underground finished, so I've started to prep a couple of things. So if we jump down here now, I put a floor in using a filler. Pretty straightforward, just put a floor around. And I've started building this thing up here. This is the 8x8 block where one of our spawns is going to be, and if you look in there, that's a skeleton spawn now, because I use a gravity gun to pick up the skeleton spawner from over here. So I picked that up with a gravity gun, brought it over here, and a couple of trial and errors. I dropped it a couple of times. I had to go and pick it up from down there before stuff spawned. But the wither skeleton spawner is now there, and when you're hanging spawners off a roof, you need to bring them down a block, which is why I've used an extra. I could have just put it up there, but I've used an extra jacketed cable to bring it off the roof, because you need 2 blocks for stuff to spawn. If you had it up one up there, stuff wouldn't spawn because the roof's in the way. So you need, on the level of the spawner, you need 2 blocks. So what we're building here is our same 5x5 area, and I've gone double thickness walls because it's the 8x8 box again. It's the same as I did with there, just a different kind of little bit of a different way. So this is going to be our drop spawner. This is going to drop things down to half a heart, and down there we'll have a couple of iron golems. I ain't worked out. I'll probably do that this episode though. I'll be working out exactly how far I need to let these skeletons drop. And just turn that on for a second. I think that's that one. Yeah, it is. Turn that on for a second. You'll see they'll drop. And the key is we want them to drop just far enough so that they don't quite die. If we come down here, you see the stuff that dropped down here died. We've got a bit of coal, some bones. So the trick is to do it so that they drop just far enough so there's half a heart left. So I think it's about 22, maybe 22 blocks. I've gone a bit far there with the cutting down into the side, but I'm going to do that off camera, get it kind of ready, maybe do a little bit of trial and error on camera, and then the enderman spawn is going to go in here, because that's the easy one. So once we've got the ender shard full, put that in there, then we can just fill this chest of ender pearls, real nice and easy, just by turning that on, which is now that one, endermen's. Nice and easy. And then of course this one I'll be using the melee turtle with water, and we'll need to make a couple more of these jars. So this episode is going to be finishing off all 3 of these spawners. So by the end of this episode we'll have 3 spawners, 3 different types of spawners. One that I'll get as XP through MFR, one that I'll get as XP from a turtle into a jar, and one that I'll get as XP using Farmcraft Golem and a drop shoot. So back in a bit when I've got a couple of things organised. I'm going to go back, fill this shard up. Now I've got my soul stealer sword repaired, and that'll be the enderman one done. And I'll put some ender pearls into that chest. So if you need to go back 2 episodes if you want to see how I put that together. If you missed that episode, I think so. This is 31. I believe it was episode 29 when I set all this little bit up here. It's around 29. It might not be 29. It might be 28. I think it's 29. So look at that one if you want to see that, and then yeah, we'll finish these 2 today. So back in a bit when I've got a few more things ready, and we'll crack on with that. Back in a bit. Okay, so here we are with part 2. So I finished off the enderman shard, and I've put the actual sword back into there. So you see how much more I use on the sword. Not a great deal. Unbreaking 3 really does make a difference on your soul stealer sword. It'll make it so you have to repair it a lot less often. So that was pretty quick. I'd say it only took like 20 minutes in total to fill that shard. 5 kills, 206 or so. Max kills to get a max shard, and now that's really nice and straightforward. That just spawns enderman, and as it did before, the grinder kills him in 1 hit once it's gone through his idle period. There you go. Wonderful. and they'll spawn pretty quick. So now we've got a supply of ender pearls, as you can see, nice and easy. I'll put the other ones out in there as well, so we can fill that up. And there's things we can expand on this as well. Of course, we can make the chest bigger. We could put a cobble structure pipe on there, redstone signal, and have the redstone signal trigger the thing here. So we could just keep it so that whenever you take ender pearls out of the chest, it'll fill it back up and take itself off. You've got a few options. Quite a few options to do there. Pretty good. I've done this one. I've added another couple of turtles, another couple of brains. When this turns on though, if you get too close, the turtles at you for a start. When this turns on, the blazes can shoot you through this gap, so you can only really collect XP. Like so. When it's not turned on. So let's turn that one off for now. Just turn this one on. You'll see it spawns blazes. It spawns blazes, there you go. The water pushes them towards the turtles. The water's damaging them as well. And the turtles finish them off. XP gets sucked into the jars. And then, if you can see underneath there, I've got an obsidian pipe facing the chest there. And I've got a couple of gold pipes under these two. These are all running the same program. Let's call it Melody. I'll show you that in a sec. Anything they collect, there you go, you see, look, they managed to shoot me through the gap there. Any blaze rods get sucked into the obsidian pipe into the chest, and any that the turtles pick up, they just drop below them as part of the program. So there we go, automated blazes. Let's just turn that one off for a second, let that die off. We'll look at our program again. So it's the same program I had the other day. Let's just Control T to terminate that. Edit Melee T. Same as the other day. While true do, if turtle attack, then 1 to 16, turtle select, turtle drop. So pretty much the same. As long as it's true, the turtle will keep attacking, and it'll keep checking its inventory, and it'll drop things below it. So the outside two are dropping into the gold pipe there. The middle one is dropping into the chest, and with that, and then with the obsidian pipe that you can't really see in front of the chest. Obsidian pipe just collects anything that touches it, like the one we've got on the as our waste disposal over here, same as that. The obsidian pipe just collects anything you throw at it. I'll just I won't waste one of them. But you know what I mean. So that puts all the blaze rods into that chest. And of course, we could also connect these up to our AE network when we get our AE network big enough. Or we could just have a tesseract there as well if we wanted to. Now we've got plenty of ender pearls, we could just start putting tesseracts everywhere. We could have a tesseract that they drop straight into. And of course, these jars collecting XP. You've got to get a bit closer to the turtles, but still, plenty of XP there. And now, the only one we need to do now is the Wither Skeleton drop, which I've not worked out yet. But I'm going to sort that out off camera, and I'll be back when I've sorted that out. There's a couple of other things I want to show you, wouldn't they? Let's do a couple of other things while we're here. One of them was, of course, just naming the canvas bags. Nice and easy. Now I've got some XP, I can do that. So let's call that one tools, for example. Tools and weapons. There you go, it cost me 5 levels, and now that's called tools and weapons. So you can really sort out your inventory within your ender pouch to carry a lot more stuff. You can see the quarry finished, and I've got the little quarry set up in there, which I need to replace somewhere. If I was going to be keeping this server a long time, I'd be looking at setting up a Mistcraft age now, a flat Mistcraft age, or a Plains age as a quarry age. I think there's an issue with this version of Ultimate in single player that Mistcraft ages don't rate correctly. And I think there's a workaround, so I might have to have a look at that and work out how to make a proper Mistcraft age, which I'll of course show you on camera. Anything else I wanted to show you? I think that was it. Oh, I'll tell you what I did want to show you. These chests, you've seen iron chests as bigger versions. Well, there's also a version we can upgrade chests. Chest. There we go. Chest upgrades. So we can make a wood into an iron into a gold, gold into a diamond, and a diamond into a crystal. So we can make these, and it's pretty straightforward. As you see there, 8 iron around a bit of wood, upgrade a chest. So let's make a couple of these real quick. So I'm going to want what's the gold? Gold to diamond is a gold nugget, 2 diamonds and glass. Iron to gold is an iron. Okay, so I want 9 of them, 1 of them, and 9 of them, 2 of them. And what was the last one there? That's diamond to crystal. There's a bit of obsidian. That's a bit weird. Obsidian, and that's 8 glass, and we needed 6 glass for the other one. 14 glass. Like so. So now we should be able to craft all these. There's our normal to iron. There's our iron to gold. There's our gold to diamond. And there's our diamond to crystal. Excellent. So the chest we really want this on, I suppose, is this chest with the books in. This is going to be filling up. We've got another book in there, frugal. So I could leave the ender pearls turned, the ender spawn turned on. Fill this chest up. So what we can do is get them in there. These don't stack. So if you have more than one, you've got to be careful when you don't make loads because they won't stack. We can just go like that. And that's now an iron with more space. And you can keep doing that. Iron to gold. Gold to diamond. Diamond to crystal. There we go. Now we've got a nice big massive chest for our books. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more work on the drop spawner and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, back we are, and I've started putting a floor in there. It's not quite right yet. I'm going to show you I'm working that out. I upgraded these 2 chests. That was not turned on, so still only 50 odd in there. But this one is turned on, and look at that. You get ender pearls really quick once you've got a spawner. So it really does change the game a bit. And if we look into our chest round here, I need a bit of a shorter route to get up here, I think. I'll show you how I upgraded this one, and we're getting a few more books in there. Got another one breaking 3, that's nice. Some of the random stuff. Got no repairs. Repairs are what I'm really after. Once I get a repair, it'll be time to make actually the stream at some point. Right, the way of making this easier is, obviously you need to turn this on. Drop a few skeletons. See if it kills them. And it isn't, look. But we're going to see how much health I've got left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these, make another wreath of pearl, and what I'm going to combine this with is an obsidian stick. Make it into one of them transceivers, just like when we're making the wireless receiver and transmitter. And I'm going to make a stone button. If you combine a button with a transceiver, you get a wireless remote. Pretty cool. And the wireless remote, I want to make it the same as the wither skels. So what I'll do is shift right click this, put it to wither skels. There we go. So now when we're down here, first of all I want to kill that guy. I've got a wither skeleton skull off him. Nice. Right. So what I want to do is I want to drop one at a time. So let's turn that on in a little second. So we see one spawn. Right, that's not doing what I want it to do, is it? Because I want it to turn this off, not turn it on. Okay, that ain't going to work like that. What I need is a toggle latch there. Okay, I made a cock of that. Right. I can't do that simply. It's a bit more complicated. I need to do that. So just for now, I'm going to leave it like that. But they are useful. Wireless remote. What I could do is I could make a thing called a toggle latch. I could make another transmitter, and then I could send this. Another receiver. I could set this to the receiver, and then I could use that to toggle this on and off. But as it is, just turn that on and actually doing anything. Or I could have a not gate. Not gated work as well. That's okay though. That's fine. What we're testing here is if these die, we want it with a punch. You see that my hand was empty. I just want it with a punch. So I think I've got it right. I think this is maybe 21. Let's just try and count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit! It's gonna be quite hard to count. I'll tell you what might help. If I turn that on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's take 22 drop is doing it for me. So we're still far from finished with this, but at least let's double check that. Let's drop a couple. Right, now all these should die with one empty-handed punch each. So yeah, 3 punches, 3 deaths. So that's good. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So now what we want to do is we're going to go to, let's turn that off, and let's put our lid back on. Let's go quickly to our other base and get the wand off here and give that guy a tickle, and we'll take this as well. So what we can do now is we can set up the golem down there. So we're still not finished. We need to find a way of collecting the items as well, which we ain't got yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these blocks around here like so. Build a bit of a platform on the outside of this. Let's get our stone bricks. We've got loads of stone bricks, of course, because of our little setup at the other base that makes little cobble gen that makes stone bricks. What I want to do is bring this out one, and ideally for this you need at least 4 brains in the jars, 1 for each side. But I want to go with 3. I've only got 1 at the minute though, so I'll have to make a couple more, which I'll do off camera. Just save you having to watch me doing boring stuff like making stuff you've already seen me make. Right. What we want here is we want to be able to get into there, but we don't want the zombies to get out. Skeletons to get out. So what I normally do is, so this is far from finished, but in fact I'll leave them there. And now we want some slabs. Slabs like that, is it? Yep. Let's get 18 of them. And of course, because this is where the XP collection is going to be, we're going to want to be, we're going to need to be able to get down here. So we're going to need a way of getting from up there to down here. I'm going to use a thing called aerial faith plates for that from the portal gun mod. Just to show you roughly how things are going on for now. So we have this like that, then we can see them, but they can't get out because we can't get in either, because we haven't got a too high block, yeah? What we want in here is, we want our iron golem in here. We're going to need at least 1 more iron golem, I think. And we need a transposer. Well, we could use the obsidian pipe, the buildcraft pipe, but in this case I'm going to use a transposer there. And that's going to put things into a pipe. We actually need more than 1 transposer. We're going to need 4. Transposer unpowered will only do things that touch the block. Powered, it'll do 3x3 square. So because we've got a 5x5, we're going to have a bit of overlap. But I'm going to have 4 transposers. There, 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 and there. And we'll have to have a little timer. And a couple of pneumatic pipes. And similar to how the melon farm set up. And that'll bring it all to, bring all the drops into a chest over here somewhere. So a little bit of off-camera stuff now, and then I'll be back when we're a bit closer to being set up, and you'll see this little guy, and I'll make him a little buddy. Kill the thing, and make a couple more of these jars, and I'll be back when that's all done, so back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm just making the brains in the jars to go around the spawner down there. Now, I've got some wither skeleton skulls. I've run the spawner a little bit. I've got a setup I'm happy with. I'm using the wither skulls to actually make the brains in a jar. Skulls have 4 malum, and 4 animus. So I've been using the wither skulls that I've been getting to make these, and I've been using paper for the cognito. So I've got 3 more of them. Now I've run into a little bit of a problem. If you look in there, there's no more skulls left. I've used all the skulls up. I've started another quarry, by the way, just to keep you informed. If this was a main server, I'd have made a Mistcraft Age, but just so we've got some quartz and stuff coming in for the beginner's guide, I wanted to make sure I was keeping the resources coming in. So I've just started a little quarry over here. I'll tie them trees up because I can't bear that. I'll do it off camera though. I'll tie them trees up, and we've got a quarry running here now. So it's a full-size quarry like the other one that we did in the because bloody map not loading in. Come on, loading you bugger. It's a full-size quarry, same as the one that we had in the Twilight Forest, and it's just a little bit away from my base there. I can always cover that up with grass if I want to keep it looking. Oops, keep it looking tidy. Oh, can I handle that? Will that wound me up every time I see it? Sorry, I'll leave it. I probably won't leave it forever though. I'll probably sort that out off camera as well. So I've got a quarry coming in, just so you know. Let me get down here and I'll show you what I was talking about. So there's some random things coming in here, like bits of rubber from them trees, and we're going to start getting resources again. But we've got these stone swords. Now we don't want them in there. They're going to clog up our system really quick. So we need to start dealing with them. They want to go into the... See, it's going to fill this chest up real quick and start jamming things up. So I'm going to pull them out of there. And I'll get rid of that rubber as well, because I've got plenty of rubber. And if we jump downstairs, what I'm going to do is let's just tidy this up a little bit. So I'm going to show you the setup I've done for the other farm in just a second. I can go in there, and let's just get rid of these swords. So that's one of the problems of having a wither skeleton spawner that gives you wither skulls. It also gives you stone swords in various state of repair. So if you filter them, you actually, if you consciously filtered them out, you'd have to have all the different durabilities. But we don't want that. So what I've done instead is these things here. They'll become apparent in a minute, but let's just jump down and see what I've done up to now. So first of all, I've filled that with glass. I made a hole here, and if we look, it's just a little tube down to we need to be outside here still, so let's just knock a couple of them out of the way for now. So I just made a little tube there out of brick, and I made a little expanded bit around the edge here, just so I've got a little bit of a walkway around the bottom of this. Now something we want to do in here is work out how to get in. There's a contraption that I made underneath that I'll show you in just a sec. But, before we do that, let's get in here without falling off. And I'm just replacing one on each side with these brains in jars. So 4 brains in jars, just so there's enough range. Any XP that's dropped in here will get sucked up by these guys. So we've got a little path around the outside here. Pretty much the same as my Let's Play if you're watching my Let's Play with the that was in the Sand Temple. But we're going to need one more golem because that little guy in his own can't keep up. What I've got under here, really straightforward. Some redstone pneumatic tubes. So that's a pneumatic tube combined with redstone, so you can put a redstone pulse through it. A jacketed cable, a bit of wire to connect it to the timer. So I've got a timer there just running on 10 seconds. Pretty straightforward. And instead of putting a chest here, now we've got plenty of ender pearls. I've made a tesseract. Now I'm going to move the tesseract because that's not ideal. Did I catch that? No, I dropped it. I have to go find it. Look at it. No. There it is. Okay. A bit dark down there. What I normally do is I'll put I'll get the filler out at some point and put a floor around level 12 just before the void fog starts. Below about level 10 you get this void fog where you can't see anything. So I'll put a floor about 12ish just above the void fog so we can light it up down there and it'll be reasonable. As you can see, I filled all the walls in. I filled all the holes in the walls so mobs can't drop on me out of caves and stuff. Just using brick. That's, you don't really need to do that. I just did that just because I like tidying things up a little bit. If I like tidying up a real lot, I'll use the wand of equal exchange and change all these to brick. But I probably won't do that. So what we need to do here is I made a couple of things. I made a filter. I've got a pneumatic tube there, and I made another incinerator. Now let's run through the recipes of these nice and quick. Incinerator, of course, cobble just throw in a lava bucket, and you get your bucket back. Nice and cheap. And filter, piston, gold. Then red dot wafers, if you remember, come from silicon wafer and 4 bits of redstone in an alloy furnace. And the silicon wafer was sand and coal to make silicon bowl. So we did that really early on, but we went and touched that for a while, so I thought I'd remind you of that real quick. What I want to do here, a pneumatic tube, combine it with an iron ingot, you get a thing called a restriction tube, which is important. We need that. That's an important part of this, is the restriction tube. Now what I'm going to do here is, I am going to attach my filter there, and what I need to put in the filter is the things I want to keep. And I'm going to put them into the tesseract. The tesseracts, I've got one set up called spawners. We've done my usual there, disable that, set that to send only. So that's good. All we need now is we need to put the things in there that we want. Now unfortunately, I've got no I've got no wither skull at the minute, so I actually need to get wither skull before we do this, because the filter's going to need a wither skull in there. It's going to need a bit of coal, a bone, and a wither skull. So I'll be back in a sec when I've got that, just because it might take a while. Back, 1 sec. Okay, so back again. So I just run the spawner for a little while until I got a wither skeleton skull from it, and I brought a bone and a bit of coal back. And this works because there's nothing in the filters here, so it still sucks everything through. So if you have a filter there with nothing in, it'll still suck everything in. So I didn't have to break anything. Now we've got what we need. I want one of them in there. So only them things now can go into the tesseract and into our ME network. But the problem we're going to have is all the stone swords that come in, they're going to jam the system up, and that's what this thing's for. This thing is called a restriction tube. And what a restriction tube is, the thing that I combine with the iron, the tube I combine with the iron ingot, this will only let things go into it if it's got no valid path to go to. So coal, bones, and wither skeleton skulls have got a valid path. They could go into this filter. Stone swords do not have a valid path, so they'll go into this restriction tube. But no stones, no bones or anything will, because they're past valid. So what we can do now is stick an incinerator there. So we can go and turn this back on. And this bloody flight thing's really awkward sometimes. Come on, up a little bit, in a little bit. Shake it all about a little bit. Come on, oh, for cock's sake. Make this a bit easier. Let's just put a bit of floor there. There we go. Miles easier. Why, I don't know why I just didn't do that in the first place. As you see, you sometimes lose little bits on the outside of the range of the transposers. That's okay. Now what we can do, jump up here, and of course I could put ladders or anything on the side of there. Oh, like I mentioned earlier, aerial faceplate, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I will show you that in the next episode if I remember, the aerial faceplate, just so you know what I was talking about. But now, so that little guy in his own ain't going to keep up. I need to add a second golem. He ain't going to cut it on his own. Now if we look under here, just every 10 seconds, bones and coal and stuff will go that way. And as you can see, sword, because I've got no valid path other than the restriction tube, I'm going that way and getting destroyed. There we go, tardy. We're getting the bits we want, we're destroying the bits we don't want. So now we've got a source of wither skeleton skulls for making withers if we want, or for using in Farmcraft research, because I said they're quite useful. If you look at, if we can see it in here, can we look at it? Yeah, we can. Look. There we go, it's got 4 animus, 4 malice, and 8 of the mortis, I think it's called. So they're pretty good for certain Farmcraft research, or for making things. So that's pretty cool. Nice and tidy. Of course, utilises redstone quite a bit. We could do the same with buildcraft pipes. I thought, as we've got redstone, I'll use redstone. I like to mix it up a little bit, use a bit of each. So now we can get rid of that there. I might actually put a door or something here just so that I've got a way out into the area there. But no big deal. Come on, let me in. Let me in. There we go. Cover that up. little enclosed system. As you see, some little bits go on the outside. But there we go. We've got now a full set of spawners. Not a full set. We've got a good set of spawners. As you can see in here, we've got... I'll turn that off for now. We've got loads of ender pearls. I haven't turned the blazes back on, but like up here, right click these, gets the XP, and the ones down there do the same. This stuff goes straight into the... There you go, just a bit of proof. This stuff goes straight into the ME network, and I'll show you where. Just there. So I've put another tesseract there, and I've called it spawners. I could have actually sent it straight into this one, but no need to really. I could have sent it into this one and added another pipe to this with the swords, but I'd have to have all the different sword values. I think. Pretty sure I'd have to have all the different sword values. So I'll just made another tesseract. Tesseracts are cheap now. The only cost really of a tesseract now is a diamond for the actual frame. So it's worth doing that way, I think. And now all our spawners can add to that. So at some point I can swap that chest there for a tesseract and that one, and these will go straight into the ME network, which is probably better than using chests. But I just thought I'd set it up a bit ghetto for now, and we can change that anytime we want. We could just put a tesseract right next to the spawner there. Actually, we can get rid of the auto the grinder. We can get rid of that gold pipe. Put a tesseract straight next to that, and of course one there will work fine with them pipes running to it. So we're on the way of making it automated. Got a good spawners. The only other spawners we really need, if you're doing a lot of Thaumcraft, you're going to want angry zombie spawner, the red-eyed zombies for the brains, and if we're doing anything with Greg Tech, you're going to want a creeper spawner, because it's the easiest way of getting gunpowder. Other than that, I think we're pretty much covered. So I'm going to call it an episode there. I think I've covered everything I want to cover in this episode. Next episode, I will look at them aerial faith plates, if I remember, and I want to make something from Xeno's reliquary called a gold something. Gold doubloon, gold... I don't know what it's called. It's from Xeno's reliquary, and it lets you bring items and XP closer to you. So if it was down there, and there was a bit of XP stuck in the middle. No, I think these are all in range of it though, but if there was, we could use this gold doubloon thing. Let's just find it before I go. Xeno's right on the bottom. Coin of Fortune, it's not called gold or anything. I want to make one of them, because we've got plenty of either ending out. And draws in nearby items and XP. So you have that in your bar, and XP will come to you from a longer range than it would normally, and items. That's pretty cool. We'll have a look at that. So we'll have a look at that next episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope it's educational, and I hope it's fun to watch. I hope I won't bore you, and I hope you join me next time. Cheers. Bye.